Alright, welcome back, people. How you doing? How you doing, people? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, how are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Day number 24 of Metaphysical Analysis of Drakensang Online. Really, we've already covered everything that the game has to offer, pretty much. We've already covered everything that the game has to offer to us. By now, we have covered the gameplay mechanics, the level design, the grandeur, pretty much everything. We are close to the end. Yo, how's it going, Patrick? Sorry that I arrived even a bit late. Today is the problem. How are you this beautiful night? I'm very very well, Patrick. Always, I'm very very well. You were. What was the expression? What was the expression you used the other day? You were drinking the words. I could tell you were enjoying our debates this week. Uh, it must be quite difficult for such a curious mind as yours to find content that it pretty much does something similar to what I fucking do because of all of the crazy stuff and the arguments that that I that I publicly display to the audience. Because I know how it is the contest mode. Every every debate is a gift from the universe. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, so day number 24 of metaphysical analysis. Do you happen to know where I can collect these light spheres for Melahwag the Sincere in the Taconatl? Maybe is it over there? I don't know, but I don't know where to get those. There should be a way for me to see where to grab those. Here I think I have 10. No, but it was different. It was not light essence. Light spheres or some shit like that it was. Light spheres. I don't know where to get those things. There has to be something that where I can find them. No, not the chicken. The other one. Okay. There should be a way to gather those first, and then the. Damn it! How many shit did I have to sell? Let me sell my some stuff before we begin, people. Let me sell this, sell this, sell this. Oh well, it warms my heart that at least that at least in that sense you like the the things that I talk about, because uh, as I told you, there are so many fucking. No, I need that. Precisely that. Not don't sell it. There are so many fucking streamers that their content is absolutely, utterly brain dead. It's absolutely brain dead in that sense, and are a terrible influence for any kind of people, not just your age, for anyone. So pretty much, it's absolutely incredible that among so many, well, I at least feel that I'm doing something useful for society somehow. Something that at least doesn't cause a damage and encourages a bit of critical thinking, just a bit, in that sense. Okay, so we'll leave that, and this one only if it's really really bad. Orb of Destiny there. Okay, I'll keep this one here. And do I have a single level 60? Okay, well, once I get a good one-handed staff, we can finally switch that double-handed stuff. If anyone knows, just in case, where to find these 50 light spheres, you tell me. Since I don't know, I will just go to the previous zone I was in, pretty much, and try to search for them. and try to search for them. Okay, so pretty much it was like parallel world lore tag or some shit like that. Or not, where the fuck was that thing? It was like I think it kicked me out of the map. Damn it! Now we'll need directions, people. I will. Okay, let's just follow that. It should lead me over there. It was somehow of a special version of lore tag that made me open a guardian and those things. You'll see. By the way, Patrick, if you like any other debate, fire away. No worries at all. No worries at all. So pretty much day number 24 of Metaphysical Analysis, people. Day number 24. We've already covered pretty much everything that the game had to offer. By now, we pretty much covered everything, every single thing. 100%. Only the final analysis remains. In that sense, only the final analysis remains for us, in which I will finally dissect the game and award it a final qualification. Yeah, regarding the chats, it's absolutely incredible that listening has not died yet, people. There's a few of us that have finally have managed to stay alive regarding the old art of actually listening to people. I know it's a quite difficult art to do nowadays, absolutely impossible to execute, but it is the case like that. The old art of listening for more than 5 seconds that we discussed precisely, it's still alive. In that sense, I cannot believe we've been pushed to this, but well, it is the case like that. It is a case like that. So only the final analysis remains, basically. Only the final analysis remains, and well, after that we can proceed with the next case of analysis. Basically, that's basically the structure. We'll finish the main story. We must be 80% through it already. 80%, 90%, who knows? I liked yesterday by the end of it no, not yesterday, on Tuesday, the figure of the Dark Wanderer, pretty similar to Diablo, pretty similar to Diablo in that sense. That was like a caged soul that we stumbled upon, and now apparently we helped him be free of it. Here, it has to be this zone, Frog River Delta. It has to be more or less over here where I had to go. The question is where I find the blues, the light spheres. If I don't know, I'll start googling it once I arrive to the guy that I need to deliver them to, basically. We'll do that. So that's pretty much the idea. Okay. So we get over there and we should be able to collect them. Let me check, people, let me check. I love the directions in this game. You are never told where the fuck you should be going. You are never told where the fuck you should be going. You have to figure out how to progress through a lot of these things. So okay, it leads you to lore tag. And from lore tag, it leads you to... It should lead me to that shit. Okay. Yeah, because I completed every single objective that it had for me. I completed every single objective that it had for me, in that sense. Let me see. 50 blue spheres, 50 blue spheres, not blue spheres, shit. Light spheres, something like that. It was collect 50 light spheres. I love how first I had to collect light essences and now light spheres. And here I was enjoying the game, the the storyline of the game so much. Ah, the debate, Patrick. There was a long pause. You maybe went for a bit of water or had to do something. After we talked about relationships and you being lonely centered, the conversation really helped me to open up and think clearly behind my pessimistic mind, which is really hard. No, no, as I was mentioning to you, it's a topic that I feel exactly the same, and most people feel exactly the same. The mistake maybe that I would highlight about it is thinking that it's only us men who are being affected by it. No, well, women as well, if you ask me. Women as well, without a doubt. Uh, as I told you, they are also victims. Well, everything that I told you, there will be a generation that will fix, that is already fixing. In the same generation, there will be a group of this very same generation, not a future one. There will be a group that will fix all of the problems of the other one. That will fix all of the disasters of the that have been caused, of the evil that has been done. Because really, if you want my humble mental perception of metaphysical reality, um, right now, women are over rejecting men in a lot of cases without any kind of justification or purpose beyond the the lies that they've been fed, sadly. You felt constant fear of being lonely forever because I have different views on the world, more creative and philosophical way of thinking. No, I have this. I feel exactly the same, and I am more than 12 years older than you, and I feel exactly the same. I feel exactly the same. It doesn't have to do with that. No, I feel exactly the same. Not that much the loneliness itself. In my case, it's more not being able to have children. In my case, it's more oriented towards that. I must confess, in that sense, because I do believe that the reproduction of our species is something that should that has that is absolutely required. I'm not saying have 10 children. People, please be a bit conscious about it. In fact, I only want to have a single children, like I was the only child. But but yes, 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 and well, even better through natural means, of course. In that sense, no, no, it's absolutely natural, Patrick. But know that it's not what it should be normal. It's not normal. It wasn't like that for our parents. It wasn't like that for our grandparents. It wasn't like that for all of our generations before. So, so no, no. But as I told you, the I think there will be a generation that will fix. There is a group inside of the generation of women that will fix this, and sadly, there will be a group, as I told you, that because of being fed that over rejection and etc., and that they deserve everything and there are no sacrifices and no responsibilities. Well, well, pretty much that group will sadly not be so lucky. Your absolute game end game goal is to be an amazing father, so I can teach them. No, no, and help them get into it. Help them through life, like my friend Patrick. I didn't mean to convince you of realism. It warms my heart that that you found the logic in it after testing it with your friends. That's the part that warranties me that it's not just blind influence because you tested, you played with it. In that sense, that's the part that that ensures me that it's not like blind acceptance. That is good, but well, it warms my heart, and I think those goals are amazing. I think those goals are amazing. I don't know how you are going to teach the person you are with about realism because I have been unable to do so, and it's quite difficult as well. Um, in that sense, but yeah, that's no that basically common sense. I mentioned I was always a realist, but I never knew what is that because of you. I didn't read because before you, I didn't read a single book. No, it's absolutely normal. That's what. Well, at least I bet you see that how flawed the some parts, at least, of the educational systems are, because they should be taught like both sides of the spectrum, so people can decide. And no, we take for granted their relativist stance. At least here, at least I think that at least in the school system they should show both of them. Right, and that's the thing. Mm, 50 light spheres to this guy. Okay, I'm going to Google where to find them. No, you did read books, but just know about realism, probably. You say you didn't read a single book, nor say you did, but not about realism, perhaps. You did read books, I bet, up to 17, 18, but not about realism, maybe about other things. In that sense, where we, I never had to, but no, wait, not a single book about anything, like a Sherlock Holmes novel, like a fantasy book, something like that. In that sense, really, like about a different genre. No, not philosophy. Philosophy is boring. People your age should be reading Harry Potter. I don't know, fantasy, those things to prepare for then real fucking brutal stuff I talk about and most cannot endure. In that sense, uh, light spheres. Like not a single genre. Aha, Drakensang online forums. The Evil Inside 2 out of 2. Yeah, it's this one. The Evil Inside out 2 out of 2 quest. It tells me to deliver light sphere. Where? I don't know. Telopolis farm and map. We'll go into event section of inventory. Go back to Telopolis map and farm the Ambra stones at the far right of the map. Okay, we can try that. So, regarding the books, now I see why. Now I understand why. Now I understand why you told me the other day that it changed your life and etc. Okay, so you hadn't read about fantasy, crime, like light novels, things like Harry Potter. I don't know, The Golden Compass. I also liked um, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Those like fantasy novels from that one is from Sherlock Holmes. Like no literature at all. I see. I see. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay. No, then it's the problem is that you went like from 0 to 1,000. By the way, what do you think of dating, meeting up with girls on the internet instead of a traditional way? Well, it depends on the situation. In the case of applications, Patrick, um, I have a divided opinion. I have a divided opinion. If it's an application that is specifically dedicated to that, no, no. I would think the traditional way that you say, of course, is the best. Is the one that we would all wish to to do. But in the case of online games, since it's similar to to um, to meeting someone doing a sport, I do believe it's healthy. I do believe it's healthy. Pillow, how you doing? The beat grills you run only get in a shop. Alternatively, in Cuba. No, the beat girls you can only get in a shop. Alternatively, in Cuba. How are you doing, Pillow? How are you doing, Pillow? How are you doing? I would say that, Patrick, that it's nice to see you again, Pillow. How are you doing? Hey, you left me kinda worried last time. The best of the best grills. You left me kinda worried last time, Pillow, because I felt you charcoal propane. You left me kinda worried. You looked quite depressed with the other topic. Patrick, this is Pillow. He's an old viewer of my channel. He's from Poland. He also loves to talk about philosophy. He may not be as conservative as I am, Pillow, but he's an amazing person. He's an amazing person. He's an amazing person. He returned some months ago to the channel, and he also loves. I'm not too depressed, guy. Last time you left me kinda worried, honestly. I am a tax collector. Yes, but you left me. The part I think it was that you felt that you talked to people and you felt that you just no, you saw a conversation and you just remained observant, like always observing them, always and everywhere, like you remained observing, and that you felt like quite depressed about in that sense. No, regarding the question, Patrick, it's like that. I have a divided opinion. I think that if it's through an app, of course the traditional way is the best. If it were for me, we should all. I would do medieval style, destroy a lot of computers and etc. Force people to go to medieval monasteries in Europe and start talking to each other forcefully. Of course, is my monarchist stance, and etc. And and um and the traditional way is the best. Something like that. I would do something like that if I were the God Emperor of mankind, like in Warhammer 40k. No, yeah, the traditional way is the best. Of course, reality is not like that. Now I really feel reality is not like that. And regarding the non-traditional way through the internet, I have a divided opinion, Patrick. If it's through a competitive game or just any game online, I find it to be quite similar to finding someone while doing a sport. So at the end of the day, I do think it's healthy. It encourages uh, working together. It encourages competition. It encourages good things. If it's through a dedicated dating app or those things, I would have a negative opinion. Why? Because it's more like dedicated for that, and I think it leads nowhere to a serious relationship. And I think the people there uh, are not there for a serious relationship. But I think if it's born naturally out of something more sports derived, like something more derived from a sport through social media, yes, something that is not directly dedicated to that. It just happens when people talk about the K-pop demon hunters in the office. K-pop demon hunter, what the fuck is that? Pillow, you'll have to excuse me. Or when two guys talk about Monica's tits instead of working. What the fuck? What? Monica's? Monica, what the fuck is a Monica's? The other part I understood, but just a random person in general. Yeah, that through social media would be, yeah, like he's describing, more natural. It's a name. Okay. Through a random person's attributes, frontal attributes, let's say. um, yeah. You would get a mental breakdown too. That was the topic that was affecting you. That you said I would just remain watching, and you left me kinda genuinely worried last time because you sounded quite depressed, and you had to go. I was going to ask you, Pillow. You mentioned when you returned the other day that we had a bit more of time. You mentioned that I was the only streamer you didn't watch, you didn't meet like personally in Poland, I presume, because if you met them personally, it has to be close to Poland, or at least Germany. I don't know. Like, am I the only one? Like you watch, like you didn't meet. There we go, Telopolis. We have to go to this map. Like you didn't meet personally because you said you had drinks with them. No, there was several number of them. Okay, imagine I would some guy bent on for 40 minutes about how much he hopes to touch some years. No, I was discussing this with Patrick the other day. The other day here, we were discussing this. No, there was a several number of them. Okay, regarding the stream. Okay. 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 Get it. I get it. Because yeah. It's like that. If I was the only one that you watched that you didn't meet personally, then it was an honor. In that sense, that you had that special filter. So the real kicker here is we're talking about a love, precisely, Pillar. We're talking about you. You can feel free to tell us your opinion. We were talking about that. We're talking about that. About love in this modern age that is so philosophically liquid. The real philosophical dilemma is so liquid. I would follow Sigmund Bauman if we are talking about that one directly. Of liquid society. He was precisely a Polish philosopher. By the way, from where do you learn other things that are not related to realism? Well, from the same encyclopedia of philosophy that I linked to you, Patrick. Otherwise, books directly. But in my case, really, I'm already done with my cycle of learning, pretty much. The history books and those things. Would you smash or pass? I would say that game on a house party. You know which one brewed, the one with more that cool up. That's what they say. That's what they say. Pillow. You must. They make your brain jelly. If that's the conversations you hear all day, Pillow. Over at the you were a bailiff at the office with the tax collection and etc. In that sense, it's too big of a problem. Now the real problem would be how future generations will do, if you ask me. Undoable. Yes, it's terrible. It's terrible. Not having a single deep conversation can fry anyone's minds. If you watch the previous VODs of my channel that I've been debating precisely with Patrick here this week about love and those things, and I give my arguments. I mentioned this argument the other day. On Tuesday to you, Patrick, it was that we were talking about love. I think, if you ask my 2 cents, is that what's the most precious thing we have? Pillar, what would you say as human beings? Let's do it a bit deeper so you can get a bit perched from those. Plato, Nietzsche, or even Kant wouldn't be able to anecdotically answer. Sex. Okay, it's related to that, the answer. Wait, no. What's the most precious thing you can have as a human being? I gave this argument to Patrick the other day. Wait, no. Man. No. It has to be something more shallow, Pillow. Well, it's actually revenge. he's just joking, Patrick. He's quite intelligent. He's just joking. He knows a lot about philosophy. He's just joking. No, I said that the most important thing is precisely related to the first answer, genetics. The most important thing we have as human beings isn't money, isn't that last, it's our genetics. And nowadays, when it is encouraged, and people do follow that, when you're encouraged to, or maybe fame, when you give precisely, he's just joking, Patrick. Don't be fooled. He's just joking. He's quite intelligent. No. And he has that sense of fire. No, don't be fooled. Precisely is our genetics. And nowadays we are encouraged to give our genetics lightly, to anyone. You get a. We all love the stalkers. You get a stalker. I get a stalker. So we basically are encouraged to give our genetics. The silent guy in a chat gets a stalker. No, 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 no. Philo. It's just that he loves debate. Who would not want that? No, no, no. It's just that he loves debate. Precisely. He loves debate. When you give the one thing that you hold as most precious for you, your genetics, basically, your genetics. Easily, lightly. When you're giving away the most precious thing that you have so easily, isn't it a damage to yourself? If we are talking about love in that sense, isn't it a damage to yourself? I do believe so. I do believe so. I do believe so. Exactly. I do believe so exactly. I do believe so exactly because at that point, here these ones. I have to collect the light stones from these ones. At that point, when you are encouraged and everyone has indiscriminate sex with everyone, then instead of a monogamous relationship, the both believe in society. It's the piñata of what a man of the proletariat should want. And don't forget the random political scientist from Twitter, from Rajasthan or Bangladesh. Yes, yes, yes is what they would want, just that all day. But as I said, if you want my 2 cents, people, as I said on Tuesday precisely, when you are encouraged to give that which is the most precious to you, so lightly, so lightly and easily, then are you actually valuing yourself and everyone else are they valuing themselves? Well, really, no, and it's a banalization of love, I do believe. Indeed. I do believe it indeed. So yes. And you must be thinking, well, but maybe someone actually says what he's saying precisely and ironically. What do you mean the user wasn't based? My guru said it was skibidi. Pillow, I'm beginning to not understand the comments. Please ignore the inhuman atrocities. I'm beginning to not understand the comments. Pillow, not even me. I'm beginning to not understand the comments. Sorry, I don't use social media. I should point it out. What do you mean and the Soviet Union wasn't okay, the Soviet Union, okay, now I get it. What do you mean the Soviet Union wasn't based? My guru said it was skibidi that it was based. Please ignore the inhuman atrocity. Okay, that there are communists over at Twitter that you see that they well, I've heard all kinds of atrocities being defended. Uh, uh, if you watch the political commentators there with those things, well, nah, that is directly people who haven't read it. Pillow, let's be honest. It's people who haven't touched the fucking book about international politics or history, at all, and they bent their opinions on Twitter. Let's be honest about it. It's like reading Reddit. Anyway, let's get right down to business. Patrick, don't be don't be fooled by how he debates. He likes debating like this. Don't you worry. It's like that. What the fuck is the damn? Off, off, off. You remember that I didn't like that person. Of course, I cannot reproduce your phrases. Of course. What is she doing? Well, there was a bunch of ships. For those of you who don't know, we can talk about that. There's a bunch of ships. Serbia is in flames since December, and nobody's doing anything about it except the map. well, Russia. Um, Do you know my theory that she's bought by China? Pillow, what do you think? Would you say she's bought by China? I think she's bought by China. Don't you think? China? Could it be? Could it be China? our beautiful European Union, mega cartel, currently are spending millions into our neighbor. No, not China. You don't understand. Pillow, what did you see that altered you so much this afternoon over at Twitter? You don't understand, then explain it to me. She sent that float of people to Middle East to do that. You don't know what the sick person did, let's say. No. I do. Well, the last thing I knew was that she sent a float of peoples to Middle East to help, and they were stopped by the government of Israel, and they were complaining and etc. Is everything wrong with the Western Hemisphere combined into one person? Finally, someone someone understands it. Yes, I subscribe every single word. Subscribe as a footnote to every single word that you are saying. Indeed. But in that sense, I think another one of the things that I said that was terribly unpopular was that none of the parties in Germany were appropriately prepared to fix all of the disasters that she's made so far, as let's say the engine of Europe, Germany in that sense economically. I think none of the parties in the last election at least were prepared. The power hungry, deeply concerned, monopolized that cannot even extend her own sphere of influence. She has everything for vaccine. She even was the military leader and then the minister of like in during World War II. No, and then president of the that part. Yes. That she had a long career of corruption, pretty much. Let me get this straight. No, I told it to you the day you precisely returned the other day that I was talking against her precisely that day in March in which you had to cut the internet and those things. The education of a lawyer. Yes, but there's a thing with that. It is true that she's a lawyer and those things. Could it be that she's a lawyer? Pretty much. Historical record of powerful song. Yes, but as I was telling to Patrick, nowadays we are only told about relativism. Gets every job you. And you still say that after all of that she's not backed by China? And nobody can put her away. We could, if we all voted in the European elections, the so-called horrible incompetent. We could depose of her if we all voted in the European Parliament the demonized supposedly, I think these people haven't seen a far right in their lives, the supposedly far right parties. But as I was mentioning, some of the far right parties are. And I will never believe that she's bought by anyone. Then you think she's the absolute leader. Think about it for. But wait, Pillow. Now I read it. Do you consider yourself a nationalist? You're asking me or Pillow? If you're asking me, Patrick, I'm the exact opposite. I'm the exact opposite of a nationalist. As I told you, I'm an Anglophile. I believe, as I told you, that there has to be a leader of the West, and I'm the opposite of nationalist because I really do not care if the name was Ancient Roman Empire back then, my Italian ancestors in ancient times, if it was the British Empire then, or if it's now the United States. I think there has to be a leader of the West with the highest military power, to defend against external threats like what he's mentioning, like the Soviet Union or Middle East powers or etc. Right now in this century, I think it's the United States, and because of that, I would support the United States. That would be pretty much it. She's way too rich, influential, and powerful to be able. What would she get from being China? Yeah, like a puppet, brother. Why? If Pillow, you were a surprise to me when you returned as well, in that sense, because it was you had a lot of surprise that that we hadn't debated about during March in 2025. Well, in basic democratic order, well, because precisely people are not like me, I guess. People are not like me, I guess, is a direct point. Uh, she, because basically they are way. Well, wait. Let's get one topic after the other about the puppet that you told me. Think about it first. I'm telling you that she's fault. That she's way too. You say that she's way too rich. Okay. You tell me that she's way too rich. Okay. Okay. That would be the thing that you suspect she's not bought. That she's like, if she's not bought of Rome or Paris, no. But I have an idea of what's going on. Invaded by what it is right here. Invaded by foreign intervention. Let's just say. Um, in that sense. Yes. Patrick here has also mentioned it to me over at Hungary. Another viewer has commented it to me over at Greece, and etc. Regarding the other one, so you think she's the top of the chain? You think she's like the supreme leader, like an Obama, invaded by junkies, white, black, Asian, Middle Eastern? Well, yes, I said it's an invasion. But imagine this, Pillow. There's a contradiction. There are several contradictions. Because we talk about. I don't think I've ever met a. But all else I did was, yeah, those things, yeah. But no, regarding the chain of command, you think she's top. She's top of the chain. So then she's like a continuation of the Obama's status quo, then, because it was pretty much the same. If she's not bought by China, as I tell you, I in that sense I think it's like that. If she's the top of the chain, how is it possible that the United States couldn't stop her yet? If she's top of the chain, the only power with equivalent, not equivalent, but like is trying to be as big economically is China. In that sense, was the tip top, but he was the mutual leader and of the CDU, of the party of Germany, backed middle of the road EU party, but then he got greedy. My last time my boy Don Tusk, and now we have Mondale. No, and the other one. There's another one that we should all vote out. The secretary, the main secretary, the Portuguese guy, Guterres, Antonio Guterres. That one, I think that one is also. She's too big to fall. No, I don't think that. To fail. She's too big to fail, or well, to fall. Well, there. Man, this is also damn. Well, I told you. I think the very first day you returned, that I thought she was everything that was wrong in the European Council. To have easy targets to this like it was fucked. I would say you should just replace that one for China, if you ask me. Don't you think? China? Now it's Russia sucks slightly less. No, I disagree with that one. I disagree with that one. No, I disagree. For me, things are as clear as they were in the 90s. The religion you are mentioning has been doing the same since the Crusades in Middle Ages. Pillow has been doing the same. Pretty much the Balkans were the Western Front, medieval times, and my Spanish ancestors were the Western Front. They did the same always. It's been always been the same. It also derives from that. I was commenting it the other day. I'm sorry. That out of all of the religions, the one that has created long-lasting periods of peace and etc. has been Christianity, either Protestant or Catholic. If you ask me, you know that I'm an atheist, but culturally, they have been the two that created that. The other two only create all of the problems, precisely. I know, yeah, I know about that part. So yeah, pretty much. And the other one, that I skipped one topic. What would she get from being in China, though? What would she get from being a slave from China? Impunity once she retires, not being held accountable for the crimes for which she should directly go to jail. Impunity is the answer, I think, Pillow, if you ask me, as a lawyer. Impunity. Impunity is an exchange. It's an exchange. Do what I do, impunity. 5, no. I, no. Well, the third one, Pillow. The third one is basically five in one. And if SA is South America, we poor guy didn't do anything, bro. Even if she was a green lefty, she wouldn't go to jail. Check out what she has. Yeah, no, but if the power of balance, South Africa, okay. China, People's Party, and motherfucker, well, corruption, well, the number one is Russia, of course. Number one is Russia. No, I would remove the United States, I'm sorry. I would remove also Japan. I would remove the European Union, and I would remove, I would remove Israel as well in this context. They didn't start the attack. I would remove those. All of the Western ones, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I would remove the Western ones. The other ones, directly. And mine would be like this. Top one, not the United States. But they kept the... No. It's a defense. Concept of just war of Thomas Aquinas. They didn't start it. No, the horrors that the other side did, it would be the 18 innocent and kill 18 Poles in Middle East. Could have been me, but in Middle East they did that. In Middle East. Okay, I ask you then, what were they doing in Middle East? What were they doing in Middle East? In there, were they helping the guys that killed the other ones, like the float of the people? As you can see, people, I'm the opposite of nationalism. They were officials. Okay, but I take it 7 of them. Okay, I understand you, and I understand the part of nationalism. But if any of my compatriots in Argentine or Italian would go there to help people that did the atrocities, you can see the atrocities. The rest were help volunteers. Well, like that, to help the atrocities, to give support, coups. Okay, that helped the atrocity. Here, there are also Argentines that went, and the same happened to them, and those things. Maybe they didn't die. I don't know what happened if any died, but I know that some of them were from Red Cross. Okay, Doctor Who. Well, all of those organizations. See the controversy. Who they do respond to? Pillow. Don't they respond to the evil person that you were talking about to me 5 seconds ago. Don't they? Aren't they giving support to the evil religion that you mentioned? I do know the one, the one. The Republic, but okay, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. You, please, I want to treat the topic with respect, uh, because I see you are quite nationalist about them. Precisely, I am not. If any Argentine would go, I'm sorry. If they would go and support the terrorists, like I know that it's not directly that they didn't participate in the attack, but like Cook, Doctor, and those things, and the Wrecker and etc. My stance would be the same. What terrorists? The ones that did October the 7th and those things. And it's a scam that they died. I agree with you on that. The official dead. I I understand it. I understand it. You're official. I understand it. Both. I know. I understand it. I understand it. But the actions, don't they give the other ones, the other terrible religion that you mentioned, and those powers? It's hard to be national if you're in a country that has little history. Consumers, yeah, absolutely national. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the case, Patrick. Pelu, the officials. I'm not saying that it should have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. But it's like the flow that is going now. If you go directly, just the context. I'm not justifying it. It shouldn't have happened. I'm telling understandable. If you go with a float, like with a lot of boats, to help them, to cook, to treat wounds, and etc., aren't you keeping them alive? Like indirectly, and that's the part in which I tell you, you got a cousin in Israel, Pastor Hannah, the son. Isn't the part in which isn't it suspicious that they respond to the one you are mentioning? Isn't it suspicious? Isn't it suspicious that part that they are giving so much help to one side and the other, precisely the one in Israel, not that all of the humanitarian help goes to Pillow talking to Eraser. I'm from Hungary, brother. It's hard to be a nationalist in a country that has little history. Consider myself absolutely nationalist. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, it is like that. It is like that. Argentina doesn't have a lot of history, Patrick, and it's like that. And it's like that. It's hard to consider. No, I would be nationalist for the for Britain, I guess. For Britain, it would be foreign nationalist. It would be for Britain and then the United States. It would be like that. If you want to classify me in one of them. Pillow, I feel sorry and bad about your Polish brothers. About your Polish brothers, without a doubt. But in my case, I can be 100% honest with you. Me and a lot of other Argentines would be against anyone who provides support to those people. These are things that 3 hour debate topic. Yeah, no. If you, as long as I told you the other day, if you promise me, I understand the nationalism that they were your brothers and the Polish officials and everything. Pillow, you know how to speak Hungarian? You know how to speak Hungarian? Pillow, you are Polish. You are Polish. You know how to speak Hungarian? Only bare bones basics. I love Polish people in my games. We have the same curve word with the same usage, same meaning. Yeah, because you all derive pretty much from it. Only bare bones, but you speak a bit. It's like It's like myself with it's like Spaniards with Italians and Portuguese. We kind of like understand with each other. Yes, Pillow. I can assure you, Patrick agrees with that final sentence. I agree, I assure you, Patrick will agree to that final sentence about the person. Uh, don't know about that last one he's mentioning. I don't know that much about uh, Hungarian politics in that sense. Peter Hungary. Peter Hungary? Sir, his last name is Hungary. Oh, would you look at that? He. I told you he knew a lot. I told you he knew a lot, Patrick. I told you he knew a lot. He knows a lot about ancient history as well. I like it because he covers the topics that that I thought in that sense. Uh, though I never asked you, Pillow. I never asked you. Did you like our chats last times? The last times we did them, like in March and even yeah. Hell yeah, friendship, Paul and Hanger, two bros. I have to ask you, Pillow. Do you like our chats here on the channel? The sparse times that you visit. In that sense, do you like them? Do you like my company with my well crazy opinions? I do, but yeah, do you like them because you never told me in March and now. Sure. Okay. Okay. You have no idea how gladly I am to confirm it because you generally didn't express that back in March and etc. No, it's because of that. Because I know I say divisive things. I know I say divisive things. Like the ones about love. Well, you just watch any balls. I don't know if you watch any balls. You probably don't have time doing the law, the bailiff stuff and the tax collection and everything. But if you watch any balls, I talk about all of these topics constantly. So you think Japan sucks because you were there, and I think it sucked. You were to Japan. Did you get any video games? You have to have gotten any video games. As a foreigner, you didn't have a good experience. Why? You would grab yourself by the head. Really? Even if you even knew the sort of pathological bias things that happened there, you were busy. So you have one in Israel, one in Japan. You have everywhere. You have them everywhere. Pillow, Pillow. You are telling me you have? It's a weird connection. Japan, Israel. You got thrown into jail, so with the Chinese. What the fuck? Pillow? But what did you do to be thrown in jail? Now my Japanese cousin isn't actually Japan. Okay. But what did you do to get thrown in jail, if I may know? He's in a work program. Okay, but what would you do for programists? Software development, maybe? I don't know what a programmist is like software development has to be something like that. Something like that. I've never heard that profession. That sounds. Israel is a branch of my family, ejected from Poland in the 70s. Exactly. Precisely. That one is cheap programming. Okay. I get it. The part about Israel, I imagine it because Poland was the epicenter of that. But you told me that Poland was divided in Protestant, Roman Catholic, and etc. I see. You were like more atheist, could it be? If I remember correctly, it was in March. Sorry, I don't remember. It was more like that. More like atheist. It was, right? More like that. The part about the easier one, not particularly more, and more people by the year care less and less about religion. Oh, I think that is terrible. I think that is terrible. Not you know that I'm an atheist, but I do believe that Roman Catholicism and Protestantism both of them have contributed a lot to society. It took us the church went political and stabbed us. Come on, I agree with that. See, that's a. It was bound to happen. I think that one is absolutely true. You know that. See how few of a nationalist I am. You know that the previous pope was Argentine precisely. I think he was the worst shit that happened to the Roman Catholic Church. The church either support what it is, people, or it does. Simple as that. I agree that it has that sadly the first South American Pope, our Argentine Pope Francis, is hardly the worst. You know, he was a curse. Not the worst throughout history, but he was. Look at no, I know, no, I know what you say, but no. This level of relativism, pillow, of nihilism, accepting it openly, accepting the Belgian stuff of having uh, of having popes from 300 different genders. You know that I don't believe in gender theories. Uh, I can debunk them metaphysically. I've done it constantly in streams. Uh, Supporting those things, I think is a red line that is an absolute curse. In that sense, we will see what we will see what happens when the next pope. We'll see what the next pope does, but so far it's not looking good for. No, it's looking terrible. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. All I love how all derives to the we to the same person needs to be more if you run into Asia, Africa, and South America, where it is needed the most. Mm, I would have agreed to that phrase some years ago, but I'm sorry. Relativism has spread so strongly throughout the world since the Obama administration that in Europe with the person we have to assign her a name, so I don't name her and I don't risk getting the what was the unnameable, let's say, like Voldemort. I think Philippines, think Nigeria, think China. Yeah, no, sorry. I you know that I'm like 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 a medieval crusader in that sense. I first care about Europe and the United States. If we have relativism, nihilism, and hedonism running rampant, being used as tools to fuel that other religion that you mentioned, that Middle East religion that you mentioned, to invade our countries, my beautiful Italy, Patrick's Hungary, your Poland, I think we first have to organize local home. Oh no, relativism alert! Yes, yes. I think if we have them running rampant here, if we have them running rampant here, I think that first us, then the rest. I'm sorry, the United States included in us, Europeans, the United States. That means let's pro. Oh no, relativism alert! Yeah, Patrick here is already knows my alarm. We have to do the It's like when Batman senses any crime in Gotham City. Patrick, it's like when Batman senses any crime in Gotham City. We have to prepare the relativism signal. The relativism signal. Like imagine I need to do I know what I can do. I can put the sign of philosophy as an emote there for that one. And there Batman gets out of the Batcave to fight reality. If also nihilism and hedonism that are. I'm wondering about Gotham City cleaning up the filth after relativism. criminal. Well, with the talk that you had with your friend about selling illegal substances on the street, you are like that. You were more or less like that. You can be robbing, then and clear the streets. If we have good social structure in planes, it is rampant. Eventually, there will be less uh, dangerous people to worry about. That means more reform. That means less problems. That means slowing down the immigration that they are entering. I'm not even religious, and I know this. You're an hedonist, Pillow. Well, we've already had this chat, Pillow. We already had this chat, of course. We already had. I believe in heroism, because I am. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Patrick. It will be like that. Well, I've already debated about hedonism with you, Pillow, and you brought me the example of people in ancient times um, that they did it for religious purposes, and I and yeah, my ultimate answer was, if I remember correctly, I told you that someone may see a fire and may think that when he's about to touch it, it's not going to burn him, but at the end of the day, the objective arrangement of molecules and particles is that the person gets burned if he touches the fire. I love money and sex, MJ. I vote only moderate pure hedonism. Hey, Superman. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, Patrick. He's not that much like that. He has read a lot about philosophy. He I don't know if he even agrees with me on a lot of things, and he just says them to see my reactions in a lot of cases. But no. He mentioned his pleasure. He said on his pleasure is the debate with me. What arguments I would say about them. That's why I was quite uh, perplexed when he precisely returned to the channel. That's the point. I will pin that on my wall. As I am an internet. But no. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, Patrick. He's just joking. He's just joking. Trust me. I've known him a bit more than you. He's just joking. He's just joking about it. He has read a lot about philosophy. He has read a lot about philosophy, and he can back his opinions very well. Even if he, this is no joke. I'm as serious as the sun. But Pillow, if all purpose in life, well, okay, I have a poster on my wall. He likes debating with me. Yeah, now I see the topic. He likes debating with me. There's no way someone who read so much about philosophy would say that unironically, Pillow. I'm sorry, I cannot believe you. You can say it, but I cannot believe you. With Bill Harrington and John Sims. I don't know who they are. You'll have to explain them. I know a lot about medieval characters and those things. Not about. And Monica from the house party. That was just a name you said previously, so. Have you ever heard of Gachimuchi? No, no, Paro. Sorry, people. I'm like a medieval crusader defrozen in time. I come from a different time. Behind my eyes, there's no soul in it. That one is good, Patrick. Eh? That one is good. There, Pillow. I think he beat you. I think he beat you, Pillow. Another part of why I dislike Japan. Ah, it's something Japanese. It's inexplicable. Gachimuchi. You need to look it up. Okay. Damn it, Pillow. You are now feeding my curious mind. What the fuck could that be with that? It sounds ridiculous, the name. It sounds ridiculous, the name. What the fuck is that shit? No. If you are you are not serious about hedonism because I debated with you. I debated with you, and I remember you had. Was he's dead? Ah, well, no. No, sorry. No, sorry. I read up to G, let's just say. P star. It's a G P star. Let's say more or less. Pillow. It's a PORN. It's a GPORN star. Was because he's fucking dead. No, I can imagine why. Which is the more pathetic? Living for money or living for fame or viewers on your shitty TikTok videos? Quite an interesting debate, Patrick. Quite an interesting debate. I would say the TikTok videos do derive into money because they do report money to them. No, Pilu, I can't believe it. You left the channel the day I criticized that person, and you hate it. I cannot believe it. The irony of life. Don't worry, you already told me, and we already discussed it that it was a misunderstanding. But I cannot believe the coincidence precisely. And the most cringe, indeed. No, there's one worse, Pilu. Being that from the comfort of the US and saying that the US deserved all of the bad things that happened to them. That is the most cringe and the worst shit ever. Being that too, and yes, like being that one, being the communist, and from the comfort of a completely capitalist society and first power of the world, say no, let me go to fucking the Chinese are the best. The Chinese are the best. The Soviet Union did so much good in the world. That one would be the worst. Regarding your choice, Patrick, if I only have those two options, I would say that the second one derives into the first, but does add a component of lack of attention as a child. It does have a component of lack of attention as a child. The internet cloud, let's say, doing things that really do not contribute anything, that you didn't read anything to form your opinions. So I would say the second one, if only those two. Oh, that too, from your local Starbucks. Indeed, from your local Starbucks is wearing those what are they? The top hats. The top hats, while you have your what was it? Your Apple laptop. Your Apple laptop. You have the Apple laptop over at the Starbucks, right? Well, cheating on Israel for genocide, well, China is concentrated. Indeed. No, the part about Israel that you mentioned, as I said, I pick the less of two problems. Culture has been undisturbed for 400, 500 years alone. In that sense, the Ugyurs. What's an Uyghur? Sorry. A lot of people don't know what an Argentine is, so I am entitled to say I don't know what an Uyghurs. Uyghurs. It's 90% ethnicity until the Mao communists arrived. So they were like more. What was it? They were more like the original ethnicity of that zone, and they purged. I presume. Okay. I see. It was like the original. It was like the original ethnicity that you are mentioning. The Uyghurs, alternatively called Uyghurs, they were Turkish. I mean, group origin from and cultural affiliation with the general region of Central Asia. They're like the Middle East religion, but they do their own thing. Okay, they are a bit different. Patrick, I need to go to sleep now. It was an awesome stream as always. Thank you guys for the conversation and thankful. Thank you, Patrick, from the bottom of my heart. I know that you love. I know it's not a colonialist part. Thank you, Patrick, from the bottom of my heart. Hope you have a great night there in Hungary. Well, Pilo, it's a revelation that so the Polish and the Hungarians, the Poles and the Hungarians somehow share the root of the language. So thank you always, Patrick, for visiting me at the beginning of the stream. I appreciate you a lot. You know that over at Discord, that over at Discord you can always ask me anything, because you told me on Tuesday that there's way too much of a gap between Thursdays and Tuesdays. That there's way too much of a gap for you between Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have to do things, but pretty much, but pretty much, but pretty much that. But pretty much that. That you can write me there, because I'm generally playing uh, whenever I have free time. I use my time during the weekends to do things, but whenever I have free time, I chat over at Discord offline with my US friends from Star Wars The Republic. So there, know that I am there because of that. And thank you always. You always were my heart, Patrick, because you are always uh, there to share time with me, and that's the most precious thing where life can give us. Precisely. The same for you, Pillow. Patrick visits me like every day, so in that sense, I always I always debate with him every time. If you watch the bots Pillow, you can see that I'm debating with him in a lot of cases. So always thank you, Patrick. Hope you have a great weekend, and see you all on Tuesday. And I'm always over at Discord. Thank you, Patrick. Have a great night, and hope it was enjoyable. Well, there you met Pillow here, and I hope it was quite enriching for you as well. They aren't recognized. So, Pillow, they aren't recognized. They don't. Hungarians came from China, the original ethnicity. They have the same language group as Finland, Indo-Uralic. Okay, it's the part that the Roman Empire could never get to, so I don't know. Poles are Slavs. That doesn't mean that Russia is our brother. They are our and we're it must be Pillow. I have something that will reconfort you. I think I mentioned it to you. I think I mentioned it to you because you are the neighbors and you've suffered the constant attack of the country, precisely that you are mentioning all the time. Here, here in South America, even if we are so far away from it, if you think about it, it was a pretty similar situation. Soviet Union, right? Soviet Union, Cold War against the United States. Influence, I think I told it by the end of the last time you were here, but you had to go, so I did very briefly. Russia, right? Influence is Cuba, right? That a small island that caused so many issues to the U.S. Then that one, Venezuela, and from Venezuela it infested the whole region. Since that the case, so you feel a bit better that not just because you are physically close to it, you are the only one that has suffered the influence of the Soviet Union as a power in the past. In that sense. Look, I would literally rather get an Austrian Germany occupation and get fully Germanized than be that. I am sure those are some wise words, if you ask me. If at the end of the day you are forced to choose, in that sense, I ain't expected from you that one. It's just a in the, that precisely. Well, I would have never expected that from you because precisely Poland has been between both of them and really most hate both of them. But yeah, if you have to make a choice, it takes a lot of maturity to say that at the end of the day, let's say at the end of the day, at least it's not full-on communism. That precisely. Well, I told you, even historically, it's like that. 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 Like that. I'm glad, on the other hand, that it would be better to be Prussian, which was the original, or Austrian subject. I agree with you, and see that I agree with you, even knowing that Prussia and Immanuel Kant that were the birth of relativism that I, as a scholastic, despise so much. But even so, it would still be better than full on communism. No Siberia vacation race. Yeah. Not only that, I had a viewer from one of the three small Baltic states that you have. I don't remember if it was Lithuania or something like that, or Russian Imperialism or Caesar. Pennsylvania. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that sense, yeah, yeah. Estonia, Latvia. That one, Estonia, Estonia. Sorry. And Lithuania. That one, Estonia. The first one. I had a viewer from there when I played Helge London before, way before I met you. Um, way before I met you. And well, then we chatted a bit and etc. And I think that zone, I don't know if it got it worse than Poland, but the horrors were the horrors were exactly as you described yours. They were like terrible. They were like terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Mm. In that sense, I'm grateful that at least I have a majority of Polish viewers here in the channel. Hungary, all of you, we are all people who suffered uh, communism firsthand, or at least were ancestors and had to escape from them, like in my case, and you as well, with that thing that is terrible. Uh, that is the case, without a doubt, without a doubt. Yeah. We have to open the unnameable woman's um, uh, opposition club, basically by now. With the thing, I do. That's the thing that I mentioned to you regarding the other topic. Let me share you a little secret. Sure, fire away. There's a story where God created Poland to keep Russia at bay and suffered to eventually destroy it like the satanic cult of a country and become the Jesus of nations. I'm not making this up. No, I can imagine that with the dramatic situation that you've been subjected to, that's why I cannot understand how you are not even more conservative about it. Look at Polish martyr, martyrism would be, yeah, martyrism, yeah. No, I get it. I don't know how with the with the dramatic situation that you've been telling me, martyrism. Okay, there I guessed it. There I guessed it, pretty much. The With the drum or Adam Michalowicz, the I don't know how with the dramatic situation Poland has been through, as precisely I was mentioning, 40 million Poles. Yes, that's the population. I think Canberra the other day told me that. Yeah, pretty much 38, I think, versus 120 million Russians from the Soviet Union back then. Yeah, Finland would have an argument to claim that position. But yes, if we start a war, I know. The legend is that you are itching to defend yourselves brutally one last time. I would die within 40 minutes, and you don't. And I no, I would be. I told this to all Balkan viewers and Polish viewers. I would be scared. It would scare the shit out of me being there, as I bet it does with you. It would scare the shit out of me. But if there's a god, please, I would love to kill some run before I die. I get it, but all right, here, I found the Ambra stone. The person over at the forums was wrong. It's here. Before I die and go, Bison, blah. Pillow, don't be so dramatic. You can also move out if it's a problem. I know that you'll tell me only a coward would do that, etc. Knowing the history of your country. But no, it would scare the shit out of me, and I probably bet you think I cannot understand it. I do, and I would still probably, I guess, move out if it came to that shit. Even more? No, I understand you. So I can become French. It's not the only one. Or American. a lot of our ancestors had to do that. My Italian great grandpas had to do that, otherwise they would die. No, I would go down with the ship. Millions and millions of immigrants here to the Americas have been like that. We have Polish communities here in Argentina. We do have them. Alright with it. We have Polish communities here in Argentina. We have Polish communities, and for example, precisely, also Irish, also French, also German. A lot. A lot. We have them in the United States as well. Value your life. Value your life. I know that it's a topic that you guys have that thing even more after what happened some years ago with Ukraine. But yeah. Oh, I can only say that I admire. You're a reservist in the emergency military service. Damn it. I'm a pillar. I can then just tell you that you are a brave soul. A brave soul. May I know, how old are you, Pillow? You never told me. If shit goes down within 5 minutes, I can pick up again. But how old are you? You need to and go shoot the Russians. I knew I was going to have that reaction, knowing the history of your country. But how old are you? Think about all the years of life that you could spend with your fiancé and have children and those things. They also, damn, I would love to do that before I die. Like, 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 like. Think about your fiancé. You had and potential children that you can have and those things. Well, I don't care if it means I can die from. Damn. Well, then I can only say that you are. I'm not joking. No, I know that you are not joking. I know that you are not joking about that one. That's why I asked you the age, because of all of the. No, if I said it wrong, I said it wrong. You said something wrong. If I can die against Russia, I can die. But Pillow, it's precisely that. How think about the people who enjoy your company every day in life. Don't they also deserve? Don't they also deserve your company and not being lost like that? In that sense, I'm telling you as another person who appreciates you. So I am putting myself in the shoes and the empathy of as I've told you, of your fiancé, of your potential children, of your potential parents, and etc. That's why I asked you the age, because you also need to be like in good shape to survive that, or not survive, but at least do something. They deserve my company, alright, but they also deserve to get another guy to kill the Russians. Okay. Okay. I just hope you are not. I passed the 3 months training. Okay. I just hope you are just not too young when that happens, that you can have a good life by then. By the time if it happens, including the physical, mental, and emotional test. Okay. But I just hope that at least you can like form your life and everything before it. I hope it never happens, but if it does, I hope that at least you can create your life before it happens. I will get under officer position 4 minutes after the war starts. Okay. Well, then I can only say I admire your country a lot. You didn't need me to say this. It's a lot. I admire you a lot because it's the wall that prevents communism from extending even more than it has done throughout time. And then I will change. Oh, you will charge into Kaliningrad. You will charge into Kaliningrad. Okay. Now I'm quite curious about age, Pillow. Don't tell me. Don't need to tell me. There's no need to tell me. But I bet it has to do a lot with it. You get the idea. I get it more than you might think. As I told you the other day, my country has suffered not a physical war, but we've been under external influence of the Soviet Union. You are between able military. Okay. You are the same as me. Okay. I'm right at the age. I'm 29. In 1 month I'm 30. Okay. Okay. More or less millennial generation like me. You're from the same generation, more or less. You're from the same generation. Okay, okay, I get it. You are enabled military service. So now I get it more. Now I get it more. Now I get it more. I That's why it's so sad. If you just let's just I don't know, religious people pray to God and we atheists pray to the universe, I guess, or whatever. Just hope that it doesn't come to it, that Trump fixes a lot of things, and that the unnameable woman responsible for a lot of this shit, I vote every time from here. Let me quote a cool literary work. I just hope that we can all finally depose of that tyrant that is the unnameable woman with our vote. I vote every time from here. I vote every time from here, whatever it is, opposed to that fake middle opposition, middle ground opposition that they've created, which is like a controlled descent, theory of controlled descent, theory of controlled descent. What they do to exclude the far right and those things. If there is a God, please, please let me know if it comes down, and not in a cringe way in France or Mexico. You also have the United States, Canada, and Argentina here, like my ancestors had to do with Italy. Well, that happened to I told you, to my Syrian great grandpa. He was a rich merchant in Syria. He was sent to the front line, like that, to fight against the Russian influence. The British were there to oppose the Russian influence, and World War One we are talking about. And he was sent to the front line, and he survived. He went to the front line. He did what you are asking for. He survived, and after surviving, the only thing he could get to was a boat. It wasn't a thing of cowardice precisely. He was sent to the front line. He survived, and pretty much after all of the mess happened, he ended up at a shore with the stowaways, with the rest of the stowaways, pretty much. And he came here, In the case of my Italian ones, it was World War II, typical. Yes, those escaped from it. The Syrian one, no, it would be like what you are uh, recklessly, I would say, asking for. But I know that because of the history of your country, it's something understandable in that sense. So the only thing I can tell is that I envy how brave you all are, without a doubt. I envy how brave you all are, because we have Polish communities here, and yeah, the ones that survived are like that, in that sense. But well, I will try to. I just hope it never happens, and if it happens, I'm gonna go to sleep after this. Well, no, I'm quite pleased that you enjoy our chats. That you enjoy our chats. That has been lost nowadays. It's all putrid TikToks videos of 5 minutes that would have never been able to hold a conversation even similar to this with maturity and common sense in that sense precisely. Like, it's impossible. Anyhow, hey, don't. Hey, let me tell you how much I've come to hate since I'm behind to leave us. There are 33. No. Of scars. Yeah, there are millions of scars, not of poles. 300 million poles now across our history, layered thin like wafer sheets of memory. If the word hate was engraved on each maelstrom, those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal one of the billions of the hate you feel for us at this micro instant. Hate, Pillow. I don't know, Pillow, how you are not more conservative, even with all of the while confronting communism directly. Like, I've said things like I do think that with the invasion that is being done in Europe right now, I don't know. a new crusade or some shit like that, but something to defend Europe. I don't know. Nowadays we only have the vote to depose of the unnameable woman. I don't know how you are not more conservative, honestly. Because in my case, for much less, the story about my it's all love and liberalism until Russia comes into my life. So wise words, wise words. Then you are not that liberal, precisely. Okay, okay, okay. I would love to have a bomb. And okay. Then you had a little secret there that you didn't show to me. In that sense. Okay. This song is such a big only. Damn it, and nobody else. Okay. I get it. Not the population itself, but the state and the government. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I can get that. It must be quite terrible, and nobody else. It must be quite terrible for you finding streamers, influencer, yeah, Moscow, Petersburg, Rostov, so precisely the political centers of the oligarchy. It must be quite terrible for you reading and watching any, let's say, in my case, relativists, but any liberal media saying stupidity clearly when they haven't read a single book that are the most watched ones. It must be terrible for you seeing that they say any stupidity that comes out of their head without knowing shit about, let's not even say about philosophy that we debate on those things or anything. Anytime I see a liberal media supporting the dumbest things, it must be terrible for you. I can only fathom to begin a fraction of what you. Well, in my case, I also get mad. I directly have a reaction similar to yours with different reasons about the relativism and what I say. But 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 it for you it must be terrible. It must be going to really shut their mouths, pass reforms, and give the nukes to the EU. Yeah, but these ones are against nukes. They are against anything. They are supposedly pacifists that supposedly pacifists that precisely send that humanitarian help, and not anymore. They are not precisely, supposedly. Hmm. Mm, I don't know, the factions that research. You have the atomic reactor. No, but research the ones that you mentioned to me, the Red Cross. In a matter of 50 years, we will have them. We'll have them. Maybe 100. No, but research the organizations. The organizations you told me about. See the ones that put money. That put money. The Red Cross. The other one, you will see that the threads of the unnameable woman and those liberals precisely. Then tell me if maybe you don't spot the threads of them behind them. The Red Cross, the other one, Medics Without Frontiers. They are asking for you. They are asking for wills of people who die alone. And what were we encouraged in this last decade? Okay, gotta go. Okay, gotta go. Bye. What were we encouraging in this last decade? That women should be alone and men alone, and through there they are now asking for the wills that conductive uh, thing. Bye, Pillow. You have no more time. It was a great chat. We could have kept talking a million years more, and I enjoyed them a lot. And yeah, glad. I believe in like in ancient time. Okay, but that there. See that my connection that I established is that in the last 10 years, it's a great solution. In the last 10 years, women alone, and those factions asking for wills of lonely people and the pension system. Look at that. The Red Cross on the other one. Bye bye, Pillow. Bye bye, bye. Bye. Have a great night. Have a great night. I enjoy your company a lot. I enjoy your company a lot. I'm glad that you returned to the channel in that sense. I enjoy it a lot. Great chats. I wish we could have them every day like I do with Paintry. I would enjoy them a lot. I would enjoy them a lot. I would enjoy them a lot. In that sense. And it's an honor that I'm among the few that you work that is not directly Polish and do things. That sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay, people. We have to find the 50 light spheres there. We should have some. Let me check what the object is first, because I'm fucking stuck here. Melody of the Ages. No, I want to see how it looks like first. I'm fucking stuck. Light sphere. It said event objects or some shit like that. Let me check where those light, those spheres are. Light essence, light essence. It's not any of these in that sense. Where are those light spheres? I did loot one of them. Event object, special bag. Maybe it's this shit. It's like a material or something like that. Boss ingredients. Event boss ingredients has to be here. Or not. Pyrotechnic star now. Unique ingredients. Essence ingredients. Fire sphere. Poisonous sphere. Isosphere. Lightning sphere. Undermine sphere. 46 light sphere. Okay, we are closer than I thought. We are closer than I thought. Okay, I'll leave that mark. We need 50 light spheres, right? 50 light spheres. 46, good. The question is where I looted them. I think I looted them in this map first. No, not Bloodshed. Let's lower it. Look at that, people. So you have to farm them. Good. You made me Pillow and Patrick made time pass flying as I was trying to farm those. I was trying to farm those. There has to be somewhere here. Where was it? I saw it. It was like a plant or something which I looted. It was like a plant or something that which I looted, more or less. This thing. Ah, they are marked on the map. There's only 2 of them. I think so. There, I think it's there. Let me loot it. I don't care about the rest. Let me loot it. Did I loot that thing over there? Let me check. Where was it? What the? 46. I didn't loot anything. Where did you drop them? Fucking shit. What is this shit? Light essence. Could it be that a specific amount of light essences actually drop the spheres or some shit like that? Maybe something like that. 46. No, then I have to go to Palatopos there. What the fuck? Where did I actually loot that stuff? Maybe I have to go back to Telatopos and loot them. I love how this game, when it runs out of ideas, I love it that when it runs out of ideas, it directly starts making you craft stuff. Light sphere received. Only one? I need to see if it's only one. People. I want to see if it's only one. I just want to see if it's only one. Let me move. Let me move. I just want to see if it's only one that I receive every time I loot. Yes, only one. Fuck it. This is absolute dumb shit. Okay, so I have to enter and re-enter the map. I could use the Telopolis map. Okay, so my guide was correct. It's just that it's extremely grindy. They can drop essence or the other one. Okay, you have to do it several times. Okay. We just need 3 more though. This is the worst stupid shit I've seen. It's all just to provoke the player to leave the game and those things.